Animal intelligence shows up in ways most people don't expect. Some species can remember faces, solve problems, use tools, or even understand emotions. They navigate complex environments, teach each other new skills, and adapt to changing situations with serious brainpower. This list isn't about instinct or basic survival. These are animals that think, learn, and strategize. Here are 6 creatures with intelligence that actually challenges our definition of smart. Orangutans are some of the most intelligent primates on Earth, and they show it through everything from tool use to long-term memory to an understanding of social structures. Living in the forests of Borneo and Sumatra, these great apes spend most of their lives in trees, and that complex 3D environment may have helped shape their unique cognitive abilities. In the wild, orangutans craft tools from sticks to extract insects, poke into tree holes, or even use leaves as makeshift umbrellas. What's impressive is how these tools vary from region to region, a sign of culture passed down through generations. They're also strategic. They'll create fake nesting spots to throw off predators, or choose sleeping spots that are safer based on past threats. That kind of decision-making requires memory, planning, and awareness of risk. Captive orangutans take things even further. They've been seen unlocking doors, using siphons to drink juice, and understanding how mirrors work. Some can even use touchscreen systems to solve puzzles and communicate with symbols. One orangutan named Chantek was raised with sign language and learned over 150 signs. He even referred to himself as me, remembered places he hadn't been to in years, and lied to get treats. That's not just smart, that's next-level cognition. Their emotional intelligence is also off the charts. Orangutans form deep bonds with their mothers, and the young stay close for up to 8 years, one of the longest dependencies in the animal world. During that time, they learn everything they need to survive, and a big chunk of it is social: how to act, what to eat, where to move. They also express emotions clearly, from sadness to joy to frustration. What makes orangutans stand out is how they solve problems with patience. Unlike chimps who go for brute force, orangutans often sit, observe, and think through a problem before acting. That slow, thoughtful approach is a powerful form of intelligence. One that reminds us that being smart isn't always about speed. Sometimes it's about strategy. Ravens are straight-up problem-solving machines. While most birds rely on instinct, ravens seem to actually think their way through situations. Their intelligence has been compared to that of great apes, and in some tests, they've even outperformed young children. They're part of the corvid family, which includes crows, magpies, and jays, and are considered the smartest of the group. In the wild, ravens use tools like sticks or rocks to access food, and they've been seen dropping nuts onto roads so that cars crack them open. They wait for the traffic to pass, then swoop in and grab the goods. That alone shows a sense of timing and planning that's rare in animals. They also cache food, and remember where they hid it for weeks, adjusting their hiding spots if they know another raven is watching, which means they understand the idea of deception and other animals' perspectives. In controlled experiments, ravens have solved puzzles that require multiple steps, like pulling up strings to get food, or using one object to retrieve another. They've passed tests involving delayed gratification, choosing to wait longer to get a better reward. That level of impulse control and future planning is something most species, including humans under age 4, struggle with. They can also mimic human speech, recognize individual faces, and hold grudges. If a person messes with them, ravens have been known to remember that face and avoid or even mob them later. On the flip side, they also remember kind humans and will sometimes bring gifts in return. Things like shiny buttons or bits of wire. Socially, ravens form strong bonds and even engage in play just for fun. They've been observed sliding down snowy roofs or tossing objects between one another with no goal in mind. That kind of behavior shows curiosity, creativity, and maybe even a sense of humor. Traits that place ravens firmly among the smartest animals alive. Octopuses are unlike any other animal on this list. With no spine, no bones, and a body that looks like it belongs in an alien movie, the octopus might not seem smart at first glance, but its brain, and even its tentacles, tell a different story. These cephalopods have around 500 million neurons, and most of them aren't even in their head. Their arms operate semi-independently, processing information and reacting to stimuli without waiting for signals from the brain. In labs, octopuses have been caught solving complex puzzles, opening jars, and escaping enclosures in ways that shock even experienced marine biologists. Some have unscrewed lids from the inside of tanks, or figured out how to slide through tiny cracks to freedom. One famous octopus in New Zealand, named Inky, slipped out of his aquarium at night, crossed the floor, and escaped through a drain pipe to the ocean. No one taught him that. He just figured it out. Their learning style is mostly based on observation and experimentation. They don't rely on trial and error alone. They can watch another octopus solve a task, and then do it themselves. In some experiments, they've mimicked behaviors after just a single viewing. They can distinguish patterns, shapes, and even human faces, and they remember which people fed them or poked them. Some researchers swear certain octopuses hold grudges and squirt water at specific humans. Octopuses also show creativity and improvisation. In the wild, they've been spotted carrying coconut shells or using rocks to block the entrance of their dens. Basic but effective tool use. They change color and texture not just for camouflage, but also to express mood or intimidate threats, which adds another layer to their complex nervous system. Despite their short lifespans, octopuses pack in an incredible amount of brainpower and problem-solving during their brief time alive. For an animal that's part of the mollusk family, their intelligence is unmatched and still not fully understood. Elephants are known for their massive size, but their brains are just as impressive. Weighing over 5 kilograms, the elephant brain is packed with neurons, especially in areas tied to memory and emotion. That's why they're capable of remembering other individuals, water sources, and migration routes for decades. Older matriarchs in herds often lead their groups based on this long-term memory, guiding them through terrain even during droughts and crisis events. But memory is just the start. Elephants have shown incredible social awareness and empathy. They'll comfort grieving herd members, help calves in distress, and even show concern for humans in trouble. There are documented cases of elephants trying to assist injured people or staying near dead or dying elephants in silent mourning. These aren't just random behaviors. They reflect deep emotional intelligence and connection. Elephants also display strong problem-solving abilities. In studies, they've moved blocks to reach food, used sticks to swat flies or scratch hard-to-reach spots, and even figured out how to unlock latches and collaborate with other elephants on tasks that require teamwork. One test involved 2 elephants pulling ropes simultaneously to get a food reward. If one didn't cooperate, neither got the prize. Most elephants quickly figured out how to wait for their partner, a clear sign of planning and coordination. Self-awareness? They've got that too. Elephants recognize themselves in mirrors and use them to inspect their own bodies. Only a handful of species do this, and it shows a sense of individual identity. Some elephants have even been observed drawing pictures or mimicking human movements, and when bored or understimulated, they find ways to entertain themselves, a sign of imagination and consciousness. Put all of this together, memory, empathy, culture, tool use, self-awareness, and you get a creature with not just raw intelligence, but wisdom and emotional depth that rivals many primates. Dolphins are often called the geniuses of the sea, and it's not just because they're playful or trainable. Their brains are larger than ours in proportion to body size, and their neocortex, the part responsible for thinking and decision-making, is highly developed. These dolphins have been shown to understand language like commands, recognize patterns, and even grasp abstract concepts like identity, object permanence, and intention. One of their most fascinating traits is communication. Dolphins use a complex system of clicks and whistles, with some vocalizations acting like names, unique signature whistles that individuals respond to. They can mimic sounds, respond to recorded calls, and remember them for years. In studies, they've been trained to understand sequences of instructions and even follow commands involving unfamiliar objects or actions, showing not just memory, but comprehension. Dolphins have also demonstrated tool use in the wild. In Shark Bay, Australia, some dolphins break off sea sponges and wear them on their snouts while foraging on the seafloor to avoid getting hurt by sharp coral or sea urchins. This isn't a one-time trick either. It's passed down through generations, a sign of cultural learning. And when it comes to problem-solving, dolphins have figured out how to work together, communicate to coordinate hunts, and even cheat the system in captive environments to earn extra rewards. They also recognize themselves in mirrors and will inspect their bodies or blowhole, which means they have self-awareness. In short, dolphins aren't just highly social, they're creative, strategic, and emotionally tuned in. Whether navigating ocean currents or manipulating objects, their intelligence keeps surprising researchers and proving they're on a level very few animals can touch. Chimpanzees are easily one of the most intelligent animals alive today, and not just because they look like little hairy humans. These primates share around 98.8% of our DNA, and their brain power reflects that similarity in more ways than one. In the wild, they've been observed using tools in sophisticated ways, sharpening sticks into spears to hunt small primates, using rocks to crack open nuts, and fashioning leaves into sponges to drink water. These behaviors aren't just instinctual reactions. They're taught, copied, and refined over time, which shows a capacity for learning and culture. That's something only a handful of species on Earth can do. Their problem-solving skills are no joke either. At Kyoto University, researchers ran tests where chimps had to memorize random number patterns on a screen. The results were insane. The chimps consistently beat humans in both speed and accuracy. They also have long-term memory that rivals ours. Some remember specific humans, places, or routines after years of absence. And in sign language experiments, certain chimps have learned hundreds of signs and can communicate their needs, wants, and even express frustration or humor. But intelligence isn't only about tools and tests, it's also about emotions and relationships. Chimps can feel empathy and will comfort other members of their group when they're sad or stressed. They cooperate during hunts, form alliances to gain social rank, and show signs of planning ahead. When a chimp dies, others in the group might sit in silence, inspect the body, or stay close for hours. A deep emotional response that's hard to deny. They also recognize themselves in mirrors, which is a strong sign of self-awareness. All of these traits together, memory, tool use, communication, emotion, self-awareness, make chimpanzees not just smart for animals, but genuinely intelligent in a way that parallels our own minds. From deep oceans to dense rainforests and even the skies above, intelligence shows up in some wild and unexpected ways. These animals aren't just survivors, they're thinkers, planners, and even creators. Whether it's solving puzzles, using tools, or understanding themselves and others, their mental abilities are way deeper than most people realize. If anything, they prove that humans don't hold a monopoly on brain power. Nature's full of genius in all forms. If you enjoyed this video, then make sure to leave a like and subscribe.